Hey everybody, as promised, since Suicide Squad is going to come out as of tomorrow, I'm here to review Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Long freaking title, and I'll start with a couple of negatives here in the beginning. This movie should have been called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, since this movie pretty much focuses on Harley Quinn, and the story pretty much focuses on Harley Quinn, how she escaped, and her relationship with Joker, which we get to see off screen that they split, even though we get to see like a really cool Looney Tunes animated picture and stuff like that. And I thought it was really good, but since like what Warner Brothers was doing with Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and pretty much giving Jared Leto's Joker a kick in the nuts and say sorry, bye. That's to me a bit of a low blow, but you know what? What can you do, right? And that's how it is, and that to me was kind of a slap in the face too. And since this is pretty much technically called Birds of Prey and the blah 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 Harley Quinn, this should have been renamed Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. But that's how they called it, and that's what it is. This is pretty much Harley Quinn and what she did and stuff like that. And let's begin with the performances. Margot Robbie once again was the best part about this movie, and I gotta say, her fighting here is just out of this world. We'll get to the choreography in a bit, but to me, Margot Robbie in this movie and her carrying this movie was absolutely like the best part about it. And I gotta say, she was fantastic, and especially her hyena. Even though her hyena is not named by the ones in the comics, she just called him Brucey, which maybe soon enough we'll be seeing the hyenas in the future sequel or something like that, or maybe if it's gonna happen, if we're gonna get that Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, Gotham City Sirens movie. I don't know, because let's see how the Suicide Squad does. Anyways, let's talk about what's her name? It's Black Canary. I gotta say, she was absolutely great. I was a little iffy on it too, because I was expecting like a blonde girl. But what made it up about her role is that she was fantastic, and kind of sucks that she doesn't use her canary cry and stuff like that. I was expecting her to do it, but in the end, she was great, even though she forcefully had to work with Black Mask in order to keep herself alive. And since Black Mask was looking for a driver, she was pretty much like trying to fit in. And sadly enough, she does other things too aside from that. Also working on the side with Renee Montoya, and her performance too was absolutely great. It's just that we didn't get much of the Birds of Prey. We only get this focused a lot on Harley Quinn most of the time, but in the end, I liked it. But like I said, it is what it is. But the performances by Renee Montoya was absolutely great, even though she's kind of a but you kind of expect it too, because if you know the lore of the comics of her backstory, she's a lesbian. So not saying that's bad, but hey, that's how it is. And let's talk about, we'll get to this freaking kid in a little bit, but let's talk about Huntress. Huntress was great. Her costume though was baggy, but I gotta say, she was great. She didn't get much screen time, which is kind of a bit of a letdown. And I thought, to me, her role here was absolutely great. I just wish she had a little bit more involvement with this, because we only get to see her do kills, comes back again and does another kill, comes back again, does another kill, and then we get to get her backstory, and that's how it is. And I'm like a little disappointed too. And not only that too, I forgot to mention about Black Canary. We get to learn about the Green Arrow's fates and the relationship of them breaking up. And I'm like, well, Green Arrow kind of exists in the world, so that's cool. Even though it's not Stephen Amell's version, it's another version. So let's see how that's gonna be. And yeah, Huntress was great. I just wish she had a little bit more involvement. Let's talk about this little shit here. She was the worst part about the movie. Cassandra Cain. Oh, when they mention her name, oh, this kid is just the worst. And if I had a daughter like that, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding, guys. I would punish this girl. I would take everything she has. And if she keeps that up, like, to the orphanage with you. But I don't want to be an asshole like that. But, dude, this kid was the worst in this movie. And I didn't like her whatsoever. She was the worst part, even though she was the one that pretty much was the reason why Raymond Sionis, Black Mask, and Zsasz was pretty much like, after. And since she did something really cringy, she shows a diamond and eats it, and she's in her stomach. She has to poop it out and stuff like that. It was bad, but this, all I can say is this kid was the worst part of the movie. Let's talk about Black Mask. Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. I'm a little divided. He was great, but god damn it, he was a little overboard with this movie. He was great, he was intimidating, but I really wish he would have used his Black Mask figure more often. We only get to see him use the Black Mask in 2 or 3 scenes, and that's it. We don't get to see it. We only see it a quick glimpse, and then we see it in the climax, and that was about it. And I'm a little disappointed about that too. And man, and I hate to say this too, I love Ewan McGregor, but he was a complete piece of shit in the movie. And I'm like, dude, this guy is a cold-blooded motherfucker. Oh, and then when he learns about Harley Quinn and Joker's breakup, he's like, let's freaking kill her and let's see if she's behind stealing my diamond. And I'm like, really? And there was a moment too where he literally forces one of the girls to pretty much strip in front of him. And I'm like, really, dude? You're a fucking piece of shit. There was moments in this movie and I was like, damn, dude, you're a little too overboard. But you know what? He plays it. And then there was another one too where he kills a family. He cuts off the head of one, and then he cuts off the face actually, and then he cuts off, then he cuts off the wife's neck and stuff like that. And then the daughter, he was gonna spare her, but until he saw like a freaking booger, and I'm like, and he's like, nope, I'll pass, kill them all. I'm like, really, dude? You're a piece of shit. Fuck you. And sadly enough, he got killed off, and I really wanted to see more of him, despite how he got a little too carried away with the movie. But in the end, I thought he was okay, but he went a little too overboard, and I really wish he would have used his Black Mask more often. Let's talk about the choreography and the action. It is good. Holy shit, how did Harley Quinn even know how to fight like this? And seriously, she even throws a bat to one of the guys, hits him in the freaking groin, hits him in the head, catches it, and then goes in. And I'm like, what the hell? And she does a bunch of backflips. She freaking goes in on the police station, tries to free out that little piece of shit, Cassandra Cain. And it was great, and there was a lot of good action scenes in this movie, and same thing with Black Canary, Huntress, when she was doing all those freaking Assassin's Creed kills and stuff like that. Renee Montoya had her moments too where she was fighting against Harley Quinn, and also in the final part of the movie, and damn, I thought to me the action in this movie was spectacular. The soundtrack, it's okay, it's not bad, even though we get to see a little bit of the Suicide Squad soundtrack right there. Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to get copyright claims, so calm down, YouTube. And what else? Yeah, that's about it. And then there's supporting cast too. Captain Boomerang kind of sort of makes a cameo. We get to see a picture of him that he escaped and he's on the loose. And also we get to see Renee Montoya's girlfriend. She's a bitch. The captain of the Gotham City, the guy who's in charge of the police department, fucking asshole. And what else about this movie too? Cassandra Cain and all that stuff. I already explained everything, so yeah, there's not much I gotta say. There's no post-credit scene or an after-credit scene, but there's an after-credit dialogue where Harley Quinn says that Batman became the Batman because he effed something, and I'm like, okay, that's stupid. And yeah, that's kind of a disappointing too. I really wish that we would have had a post and after-credit scene where Harley Quinn gets captured, and then she's like, shit. And after that, we get to see Amanda Waller laughing, and she's like, ready for some more work, and she's like, uh-oh. And that's where we get to see the Suicide Squad taking part of that. But since the pandemic hit, and we were going to get the Suicide Squad last year, but the movie got delayed indefinitely, so now that we got the movie right around the corner, I'm actually really excited. It sucks that we don't ever get to see, like, you know, any Suicide Squad references, even though we never get to see what happened to Deadshots. None of that. But to me, a standalone Harley Quinn movie, it's actually a pretty good one. To me, I would give this movie like a 7 out of 10. I thought to me this movie was fantastic, but it's a great movie, but it falls short because of the title, Black Mask going a little too overboard, Cassandra Cain being a little turd bucket, lack of post-credit scene, and yeah, and that's about it too. So this movie is a 7 out of 10. And yeah, and also if I have room, I'll do the Wonder Woman 1984 today, so I can give you guys my full review on it. And without a doubt, guys, I'll be doing a review 5 years later of Suicide Squad's release date and how it holds up to me, and if I think it's good. Spoiler, I like it, so. But I'll talk about it in another video too. So without a doubt, guys, this is it. This is me signing off, and I'll see you guys in Wonder Woman 1984.